So there's the new hose. Now I just got to measure it and cut it. Well, there I have the hose marked where I'm going to cut it. You always wrap some tape around the hose before you cut it and then mark it again. And now comes time to cut it. Well, you can always cut this with a hacksaw. You can use a cutoff wheel. You can do all these kind of crazy things. But nowadays, I like to use these. These open up and do a real nice clean cut. So without further ado, we stick it in there, bring it down, make sure it's lined up straight. And there you have it. What I have here in the vise is a soft jaw. They have magnets on the back side so that they can stick to your vise, and then these grooves here fit in your fittings so you don't mar them all up. So anyway, you're going to take this here, put it together like that, and sometimes they can be a little tough, sometimes they can't. I'm going to try to do this on camera. That's what screws me up. Give it a twist. Yep. Back and forth, kind of. Yep. And then you can see, or not, get that better. There, I think you can see that. Alright. Alright, so now you got that fastened. Now, you're going to stick this in the vise. Boy, put some lube on them threads. Lube on the inside of the hose, you know, on this nipple and everything, and then screw it together. Okay, so after we lube this up and lube the inside of that up with some oil, you're going to press it down. Oh, and another thing I did here is I reused that piece of tape and put it on here because when this is done, you don't want to have a large separation between the tape and this. That lets you know if it's separated or not. So you don't want it to separate. Going down. I mean, it's not super hard. It's just, for me, it's awkward because I'm in a funny position for the camera than I would normally be. So, and then, like I already said, this has been reused, and it's for the fuel cell. It's for the return line from the pump to the cell. So it really doesn't superly matter that they're a little bit marred. So just be careful. Can you see what the distance is there? And get that thing off. We're a little bit, got a gap yet, so we got to keep on bringing it down. It's just a little easier to put the hose on and twist it rather than having the hose in here and trying to twist the fitting. I don't know. For me, that's just a little bit easier. I've just been doing it for a few years, you know. I know a little bit about what I'm doing, enough to cause problems. I guess that's what I always say. I know enough to mess things up. A little bit more. See the gap we got there? Just need to go a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to call that good. About a 1/16 of an inch gap there. That's fine. And my tape did not slide down, meaning my hose did not slide down. So that means my hose stayed inside there when we did this. So that's how you do AN fittings. Or at least that's how I do AN fittings. After I'm done assembling the hoses, I like to take my airline and blow out everything that may or may not gotten in there. So I just stick that in there and blow air.